Ah, shit. I hate when this does not refresh. Hoping for a 1-1-1-1. Damn it. Sorry, I didn't give like a verbal announcement or anything. Hello, welcome back to Carbuncle's Corner. You may notice that I did not stream last Carbuncle's Corner. That's because I was at an event. Family event.
Hey! Do you like pranks?
Very fun one. It was really cool. I had a lot of fun.
Love conquers all!
Let's begin our lesson.
Love conquers all!
Right. You got... So, looks like we're following... Which group is this? I forgot. Group. Yeah, we'll figure out which group afterward. We got Darnell versus Dan. This is pools. Darnell, like a surprisingly strong player.
Yes.
Dan, also showing a lot of promise.
Yes.
We got a 3-chain harassment from Darnell here.
Where's the love?
Dan just about completely blocked off from that main chain, and already a connection error? Oh dear. Okay, well, I sure hope that doesn't happen the whole rest of the tournament. Although, not to like point fingers or anything, but I was kind of placed on this because of the connection issues. So. Hopefully we can have this run a little bit more smoothly. Oh man, I forgot to put lotion on my elbows. Darn it.
Sorry.
You don't
I'm
stand
just
a
that
chance.
strong.
Oh, they're taunting each other. As a reminder,
Let's begin our lesson.
if you're watching a stream right now, but you're also playing in the tournament and you have something to tell me, please tell me through Battlefy. And if it's not something that can be handled via Battlefy, I do correspondence on Discord. Don't chat at me to try to tell me stuff. Oh, this chat stuff would be easier. Okay, we got... If I had my phone, I don't know where I put my phone. It's probably outside my room right now. Okay. We have Sandwich versus Stairs. Classic. You know, if you're like a score attack person, you know that Stairs is the form that you switch to when the speed gets to be too high. Well, Sandwich is the form you switch to when the speed gets to be too high for Stairs. That's what I was gonna say. Darnell kind of waiting for the perfect piece to get the, you know, extension on the, with the yellows, fill out that base. Dan just kind of lets him though. Fishing for that purple, gets the purple to set off the chain. We got a 9 chain versus a 5.
So that's your strategy. My dignity. Our lesson is now concluded.
Just a reminder, this is pool, so no one is getting eliminated. Darnell back to a GTR opener. A little bit of
Yes.
piece splitting there. Bit of like a, you know, delayed extension.
Oops.
Kind of an ambitious extension here as well,
Yes.
but
It's right.
oh, it gets the extension off of those yellow reds. Okay, I guess I just didn't see that.
Not even close. Not even close. Not even close.
He's setting off the chain at the same time. Darnell sending the 12.
My dignity. Our lesson is now concluded.
Oh man, I left my little zip-up
Yes.
jacket in the bathroom. I'm not gonna go to the bathroom to get it. I'm gonna pull out another closet. We got kind of a right hand opener at this end. A little bit of garbage, but nothing that's not going to the next.
Yes. 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 It's right. Gratis
Okay.
Adventus. Pirata Generosa. Phantasma Yes.
He is hitting off that main chain, which is a 5.
So that's your strategy. So that's
Darnell
your strategy.
not getting that piece that he needed to set off the main chain. I thought that trigger was with the purples, so I'm not sure why that didn't go off.
Yes.
Not the most
It's right.
efficient
Oops.
placements in the world, but also not the end of the world if the placements aren't the most efficient. Has a little bit of a
Yes.
1-3 stairs, or 3-1 stairs, however you put it. At the tail end there. Extends with the blues. Kind of burns a blue that high up.
Yes. It's right. Gratis Adventus. Pirata
Kind of,
Generosa.
but like runs out of space.
So that's your strategy.
Not really
Dignity. Our lesson is
extending
now concluded.
openly at that top floor there. Kind of blocked off himself. So far, 2-2
Yes. Yes. Proceed.
from Darnell and Dan. Darnell building a main chain. A little bit of a faux pas,
Yes.
but rushing that 4 chain
Gratis Adventus. Pirata Generosa.
ends up
Yes.
working out
So that's your strategy.
in his favor. Sending with 2 rocks,
Yes. Yes.
having the advantage.
That's right. Gratis Adventus. Pirata Generosa. So that's your strategy.
Getting the second all clear there
Gratis Adventus. So that's your strategy.
with the 3 chain.
My dignity. Our lesson is now concluded.
You know, Darnell kind of picking a way to build out the base that takes a bit of a time to get
Yes.
fully together, but not really playing against somebody who
Yes.
is going to
Yes.
attack early. And that's kind of
Yes.
the player that building stairs breeds, because everything has to be perfect before you set it off. Okay, Darnell having this insane 12 chain that I completely did not see. I don't think
So that's your strategy.
that... I don't know if Dan saw that one either.
Our lesson is now concluded.
Doesn't seem likely, but that was very impressive. I love when I do stuff, when stuff like that happens, where it's like... Okay, Darnell's also going stairs.
Yes.
Is Darnell gonna do the stairs tail? But
Yes.
yes!
Yes.
Yes!
Yes.
I used to pray for times like this. It's the stairs tail. Oh. Okay.
Yes.
Keeping
yes.
that
Yes.
open.
Right.
It's very
Yes.
important to keep that open.
It's right. Gratis
All right.
Adventus. Irreverent Generosa. Phantasma
Dan setting up the main chain.
Gladio
Uh,
Incanto. Gladio Incanto.
Darnell getting the piece, the yellow, to set off the trigger.
Irreverent Generosa. Phantasma
We got that extra link at the you know, the column. So we got the additional link from the tail. 10 chain stairs. I love to see it.
Now concluded.
I love to see it. Alright. Fishing for pieces for kind of a BTR, most definitely.
Yes. Yes. It's right.
We got that
Adventus.
tail into
Yes.
harassment.
Yes. Yes.
Darnell could certainly stand to
Oops.
have clapped back a little bit more quickly.
Yes.
But he's not terribly blocked off.
Yes.
Really efficient one chains right now. Extending with the blues, a little bit of a risky extension. A really bit of a risky extension with those greens, if I'm being honest.
Yes.
Not okay.
Yes. Right.
Not gonna risk the extra extension with the purples. Just gonna set off that main chain. Dan, out of resources, just decides to top out. And that power up 10, it's gonna be a bit brutal.
Our lesson is now concluded.
Match point for Darnell. Kind of showing Dan what he's made of. We're doing a opener with sandwich form. Kind of sandwich form, like stairs build with that, you know,
Yes.
neat tail there. I think that Darnell has just enough to set off a nice chain. Cuts that tail with the reds. Extends with those purples.
Yes.
Well, trying to get some extension with the purples. Cuts a little bit more of that tail with those blues. But, sets off that main chain. Dan's got an 8. And we know Darnell's doing counter because it's just a longer chain. Definitely wanted those reds. I would have extended the chain by 1 length. A red. Yeah, like an 11. But, we got that on stream. No disconnects so far. So, we're gonna continue with the rest of the group. Very exciting match. Okay. Round 2. We're watching Dan again. I'm just gonna follow Dan. Right. Got Dan back in the lobby. And we're gonna go.
Do you like pranks?
checking my DMs before the match starts. There you go. Mind you, I didn't check my settings at all before I started stream, so I'm hoping everything's okay. Ryder turning that extension into harassment, blocking off most of that damage. Dan is gonna do that. A little bit of cleanup. Sets off the main chain. Sees that Dan is not quite ready with those stairs. Just decides to set it off with that purple. This is only going to be a 4. This is a 9. And I think it's at this point that if I'm going to offer... Okay, all clear start. I'm gonna offer up some advice for Dan, is that he could still do stairs, but he needs to manage his resources more effectively. Because the problem with Dan's stairs is that there's like a lot of bulk at the end of the chain. Although this is going to be a very nice damage chain. Ryder has a very nice 5 in response though. Dan running out of space. And this 3 chain is going to eat up the rest of that space. That 2 chain certainly not helping. Gonna take it. But yeah, Dan builds stairs, but the stairs on the doesn't quite know what to do with every single piece. A lot of thinking, which is, you know, obviously not great for speed. And on top of that, the piece efficiency is a little lacking because, like, you know, not every stairs placement is perfect, and it leads to very inconsistent chains. I've seen, you know, 9s from Dan before. I don't remember if I've seen a 10 yet, but, you know, see here, that one garbage piece with the reds had him blocked off, and he had to burn 2 links in order to clean that up. So now Ryder's gonna send off the main chain. It's like a nice little 9, and Dan does not have the resources to respond to that.
Did you enjoy my technique?
Yeah, I'm kind of struggling a little bit here because Dan's pool's bracket is kind of stacked, but you know, that's the point of pools. So Ryder's gonna get this all clear rush chain, and this is going to really suck for Dan, because he does not have a long enough chain to beat it.
Did you enjoy
And the
my
thing
technique?
about a 6 chain rush all clear is that if you have a 7, that all clear cannot, you know, that all clear can't do shit or fuck to you. But you have to be able to consistently build a 7, consistently and quickly build a 7. And, you know, not every player is there yet. Okay, so we have a little bit of delay with those greens and like that blue, so there's like a little bit of a tail on Dan's chain. And then we have the extension. Dan's gonna set off the main chain. We have a second floor extension. That's what I meant to say. So here comes the extension with that tail, and that's gonna give him a 7. Ryder's chain cuts.
Regret this.
And you see, like, when we get builds like that, there's, like, potential for those builds. But now Dan needs to figure out a way to utilize that, first floor effectively, so that it doesn't create that extra bulk on the second floor. and use up all that space that you could use for additional extensions. Now, Ryder, you know, I don't really have to give like pointers to Ryder or anything, it seems. Although it did seem like they wanted to use those purples in columns 4 and 5 for an extension, but that 4 chain kind of forced them to bail on that. Ryder sending Dan an 11, though, didn't need that extra extension.
Did you enjoy my technique?
It's completely locked in on, you know. Ryder playing a little leisurely now, I'm assuming. Yeah. It always feels like you could slow down a little bit if you pull off a long chain on your opponent. A little bit of cleanup. Dan's stairs really neat, but missing that purple on top of column 2. Might want to attack for harassment here, but he's really running out of space in order to get this chain off. That one chain would have been a really nice and fast attack if it had come out even just a tad bit earlier. And Dan's completely blocked himself off, so...
Did you enjoy my technique?
Not a... Oh, my phone's on the floor! Great, match point for Ryder. Oof. All I'm seeing of the bear reaction video from my friend. Sounds like it's getting tough out there. Okay, Ryder extending those blues up with... Blocked off on both sides. The meanest, most asshole-ish garbage placement I've ever seen in my entire life. That one chain is all it took.
Regret this.
Sometimes the game's just a jackass. Man, just every single time I want to see a chain that I think is neat. That's the time that they always top out. I think Ryder could have burned that green in order to... Oh. Well, it looks like the green's broke.
Regret this.
I was like, burn that green, like, toss it off to the side to, like, use that yellow green to get an extension.
I actually did it.
Ryder building in columns 1, 2, and 3 rather than 4, 5, and 6. Okay, both players send a 3 chain, so a little bit, uneventful. Well, now Ryder just kind of regular extending, freestyling a little bit. Sends his 5 chain. Splitting that green, red, might have killed Dan. It came out a little bit too slowly. It would have helped if you just placed it upright so we could get to the next piece. And then gotten the green out to set off that other chain probably would have kept him alive a little bit longer. So next we have Darnell versus Ryder. I think Ryder's the kind of person who changes the code every time. The fuck do you mean failed to find a match? Oh, they are the kind of person to change the code every time. Sorry, I'm exposing you.
Sorry, I'm just that strong. Sorry, I'm just that strong.
Remember to stay hydrated.
Wanna play with me? Wanna play with me?
I've had a lot of
Okay,
sugar.
so we're
Let's
going
do this.
double alt voice. Players are feeling a little bit silly. Got an all clear already. All clear caught by Ryder, but not by Darnell.
Too easy.
So Darnell's gonna offset that damage, but does he have the chain ready to offset the all clear damage?
What?
The answer is like kinda, you know, that's pretty good offset.
You like that? Eyelashes! Lipstick!
Sugar.
So that's gonna be a fast 4.
Whoops.
Ryder trying to get this done as quickly as possible.
Eyelashes!
The Darnell running out of space.
I knew I'd win.
Both players just kind of letting each other build. Fairly uninhibited.
Sugar.
That's gonna be a big-ish one chain, especially that high up.
You like that?
Darnell getting really lucky that those drops happened so early. Sorry, so far to the left of the board.
Gingerbread.
Okay, both players setting off their main chain.
Pies. Cream
Darnell's looking to have the longer one.
Cream pies.
You big meanie! You big meanie!
Come on. Parfait.
Let's try that again.
Victory sweets.
Ryder kind of burning some of those blues to leave that GTR open. Still missing a green. Gets the green, just when I say they're missing something.
Sugar. Come on.
That's going to be a 3-chain harassment, which Ryder doesn't have much to respond with, but yeah. Darnell's going to get the piece that cuts that chain by a link,
What?
and the height difference was enough to cut the rest of the chain.
I knew I'd win.
Darnell was in a bit of a tight spot, having that big divot, that big ravine, and then having to fill that with
Sugar. Come on. Parfait.
and then Darnell getting the second all clear. Ryder definitely at a disadvantage. Going to need one more purple in order to set off that chain, but just purple's not coming.
Let's try that again.
Victory sweets.
Got 3 purples, and then the 4th one just didn't come. I feel like 4 purples, and then the 5th one didn't come, because you saw like that other purple went.
Sugar.
pretty chill game. Okay, Ryder kind of breaking stuff here. Hopefully this 3-chain is going to catch Darnell, because that he does not really have the direct response to that. Alt voices frowny face. Ryder really fishing for that all clear. All clear's not coming, brother. Has the 3-chain there. Darnell opting to set off that main chain. Was Ryder opts not to set off that main chain with the blue? I mean, I guess trying to extend with the purples, but just didn't have the purples to be able to extend. Thing is with those... Okay, Mitsu... Sorry, Ryder. Mitsu Tart is the one in my stream. Ryder gets the 4-chain all clear, but, you see, Darnell has the longer chain. So Ryder's gonna be able to offset the rock with the all clear damage, but not the rest of it.
Victory, sweets.
Darnell kind of pulling ahead. Ryder kind of getting the upper hand if he can disrupt Darnell, but Darnell kind of catching on. Ryder not going for that big harassment, just going for that rush chain. Sees that Darnell does not have the pieces, so set up that main chain, set it all off, finish it up. Ryder needs a red piece in column 3. Gets that. Once in column 1. Now, with those reds, he tries to extend that. That's just going to cut. That is going to cut, so he's got to burn that. Darnell doing this, like, a series of attacks, but, like, not getting a lot of mileage out of it. Opting not to... But, like, just, you know, opting to keep doing them, you know? Kind of burned away all of his resources and couldn't really respond to that pour. Ryder's got a... And... Harassment. Nice harassment. There. Unfortunately breaks something at that top chain there. Gonna need like a purple-red in order for that to set off properly. Unfortunately it's the greens that cut. Darnell tying it back up again. Right. Darnell also committing to the extension into harassment, or cleanup into harassment. But, Ryder's gotta commit to that cleanup, because otherwise that chain does not connect.
Vegetables. I knew I'd win.
It's match point for Ryder, but it's honestly anyone's game with the way that it's been going back and forth.
Sugar.
These pretty early pops are coming out of Darnell. So he's gonna take that, and now it's match point for both players. Honestly, very tight, very close game. I think that neither player really wants to do anything too crazy that could jeopardize their standing. They're really fighting for, like, who's gonna be in gold bracket.
Sugar. Come on.
Unfortunately, Ryder cutting that chain by 2 links and having to fish for the purple in order to get the piece out, but gets a purple-green, cuts the chain. Darnell takes that match point. That will be the end of Group D's pools matches. That was very exciting. Let's see if there's anyone else I can hop on to. Because I don't know why it's still open. I'm just gonna bum and see if I can catch any more group matches, if anybody's like playing really slowly. Ah! Like on, right? What was that? Okay, well, I guess I'm just, like, not joining this room. I'm gonna hit back. Okay, it's gone. Okay. Sorry, I screamed. Oh no, that one's still open. That one's closed. Okay. Oh my goodness. I don't know what happened. Everything still seems to be live, which is fine. And my computer's on the battery. But now my, okay, now my tablet's turning on now. Sorry, did anybody hear me yell? My bad. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell like that. See, I'm not supposed to disconnect from online play so that it doesn't take too much time for me to get back online, I guess. So, if anybody wants to snipe my stream while I'm waiting for the other group matches to finish up, What?! Why do they always do this to me?! The last person to take away my promotion chance was Juice. And now I'm gonna get mollywalloped by this Draco Centauros online! My life is so hard. Oh. Yeah.
Here it comes! Hi-ya! Attack! Fire breath! Dragon tail! No! Someone owes me an apology! You can't compete with me!
They always do this to me.
Hi-ya! Ha! Attack! Here it comes! No!
Oh dear.
Hi-ya!
Please no. Thank God.
Ha! Here it comes! Hi-ya! Attack! Here it comes! Dragon tail! Dragon claw! Inferno! No!
That's all it took.
Someone owes me an apology! You can't compete with me!
Game just needed to humble me for a bit, I think. I think that's what... This is, like, fine. Although... It looks like all
you
the,
prepared?
whatchamacallit, round 3 matches are done,
I don't intend to lose.
so... Maybe a spot of waiting. Ah.
Hi-ya! Attack! Ha! Here it comes! Run! Hey! Hi-ya!
down to that. That was a 9.
Rainbow Deluxe.
Oh, this is a 11! Oh, fuck yeah! I'm the coolest! I'm actually. This game is actually piss easy.
Was there ever any
This game is so easy, bro. The game loves me. I'm like stoated. I'm stoated with the thoughts. Okay, nobody's here. Back to work. Oh wow, that group chat is popping off. Excuse me. I think these are so cold. I don't remember what group I streamed. Because we were doing bronze bracket. It was group D. Miss Battlefy? What? I read that wrong. Oh, y'all both made rooms. Okay. Issue was that they both had rooms. I did the coin flip. Dan was the winner. Is that a form that I see? Is that an actual chain? Still high up on column 3, of course. Of course. Still, you know, critical fatal weakness, but okay, the Tower of Babel's coming down. It's only a 4 chain. It's a little slow, but it came out. It was a big 4, so it took a bit of a 5. Like, it took a 6 to fully offset, which is nice. Very cool. I just want those attacks out faster if this is gonna be your strat. Okay. Gloss off those yellows. That would have been a 3 chain with the yellows, but that's okay. Building up. I'm watching Penny's side. Still fairly high up on the board. Yeah, really high up with that column 3. Takes a lot of time to set off that attack. So Dan just had free parlance to build whatever the fuck he wanted, and he did. We end up 2 games. We really want that purple, red, sorry. Oh, purple, okay, so this is a little bit of a tail in that, chain. That 3 chain comes out pretty slowly. Plenty of time for Dan to get that red chain, that red piece to set off the main chain. And he's gonna set off an 8 with a bit of a tail. Lots of greens today. Dan opting to put that yellow in column 1 instead of column 4 is certainly an interesting choice to me, considering the fact that it would connect. You know? But I guess he's reversed the direction of his stairs without me looking, without me noticing. Penny also has a problem wherein he has 1 attack, and no follow-ups. And so now we're in this, you know, mid-side of the game. And we have no response from Penny. Getting a little bit of, like, little pops here and there in the hopes that this will lead to something. But this, you know, freestyle 4 chain from, Dan is gonna be a pretty definitive, shutout. Why? I'm sorry, I was paying attention. Okay. Well, at least if it comes up, it comes back down again. And then, you know, we actually set it off fast enough for it to take Dan off guard. I was hyper-focusing Dan's board, and then I look to my right, and I see right up to the X. Right up to the X. I need to edit, like a super cut of, like, of Petty Pen losing to, like, easily avoidable column 3s. If I have the time to go through the Carbuncle's quarter footage for that, and also the time to edit it, I would like to do that. The thing about building so close to the top of the board, right, is that, so, like, Dan's got plenty of time to set off this, however long chain here. I'm assuming 9? Right. But, like, when you have things that are really vertical, it helps for them to be, like, lean. Because if they're gonna be so tall, then it's because you're building it quickly, right? You know? But it's like, he's got stuff that's, like, tall and wide, and that's all clear pieces, and he, you know, split those purples so he can't take advantage of them. You know? So it's like, his trigger's, like, off to the sides. Right? I don't think Dan ever wants to be in a position where he's caught off guard again, the way that he was that last time.
Chivalry is dead.
But it's match point for Dan. It's like weird. I don't really know how to describe it. I almost saw like a hint of stairs. Okay.
Very nice.
Hit fast 2 trains. 2 chains. We're right back to freestyle.
Very nice.
Okay, I think my thing is like, if you're gonna be really high up on the board, it better be because you actually have a long chain. You know, or at least like you would have a long chain if it weren't for something like breaking somewhere along the line or something like that. Congratulations, Dan, by the way. We're gonna be going on to winner semis. Wait. You know what I mean? You have a long chain, you know? If you have your chain that's super close to the top of the board, either you have a really powerful fast attack, or you have a really long chain. That's the risk, you know? The risk reward, right? But if it's that your main chain isn't very rewarding because, you know, you took so long to build it, and it's only like a 4 chain, then like, okay, why build up your column 3 that high? Why not build up your column 6 that high, and then have it, like, have your low trigger be in column 3? You know what I mean? Marigio, you are up next. I don't know if you're actually Italian.
Hey! Do you like pranks?
Do I like pranks? Not particularly. Alright, it's here. South Carolina! Come on. I mean, I guess it makes sense, because it might be a little tough for, you know, a European to join Carbuncle's corner. Try as they might, though. I respect it.
Here I am!
Okay, so Luigi is the kind of player that I hate, because they do this thing where they just set off a big whatever the fuck at the beginning of a match and make it your problem. So, that was a 4 chain from Dan, but like one of the things about that being a 4 chain from Dan is that it literally took up all of his resources that he's got to build right back up again. And Luigi's just gonna hit him with more of these. This is the playstyle that I like to call death by a thousand paper cuts. Early mid-game. But now that Mauricio is up on the board, he's like the NPCs in the endless modes, where if you hit them, actually, you make them stronger, because for some reason, it makes their attacks, like, more frequent. And also, like, manage to connect better, because they just, like, place things. I'm a little surprised to see... I mean, I know Mauricio is playing after a bit of a hiatus, but I'm a little surprised to see him at the lowest bracket. Although that double yellow is going to be very satisfying. So one thing I'm hoping Dan is noticing is that Marigio does not long chain. So managing to get these pieces out. Dan gets up to 7, and really the 7 chain is the win condition against a player like Marigio. Here comes the early attacks. You can kind of see that Dan is like prepping for it a little bit. But Dan still needs 4 more reds in order to... Okay, maybe not the 4 more reds that I was thinking of. I saw the extension with the reds and like the blue on top and like the purple and stuff. But maybe I was wrong. That was the damage elevation. Didn't quite gauge that damage elevation well enough to be able to chain with the garbage. Three chain from Marigio, 4 from Dan. Now, that was a very big 3-chain. I think that Dan was hoping to tank the damage so that it would be manageable. But Dan's got kind of like a nice 2-chain response here, and an extension with these yellows that he's not going to take because he hates me. You know, that kind of thing. Letting Marigio get this 5, which is not very common in Marigio land. And so, I'm gonna drop that game. The thing about Marigio is that it works for him, so he keeps on doing it. He's not the kind of player where you, tell him to stop disrespecting you like that. Disrespecting me, bruv. And he stops, you know? So it's something you always have to be on alert for, and I'm not sure how much Dan is really managing this. Marigio hoping for that all clear, not getting it. Really kind of fishing for one though. But Dan really not having a lot of wiggle room. Now on the plus side, Marigio not really having a lot of resources. So this is a 2-chain from Dan. A really pithy one, but 2-chain nonetheless. Dan gonna want to set off those blues with the purples! To get the extension with the greens, but you know, not really seeing that green-purple extension, I suppose. Places the red in column 3. Has that power pop to... I have no clue how long it's been. I'm already feeling my mouth dry up. I can't do play-by-play here. So now what's happening is that margin time is most definitely kicking in, because that's just what I say when I'm sick of seeing this shit. And these chains are gonna get more consequential. So those 2 rows of damage is honestly pretty merciful. Has the blue on top. Has the second column 2 open. Doesn't really pop in the way that he wants it to. It gets that 2-chain. So this 3-chain, all clear, is going to be very painful. so Dan doesn't even bother.
See you next time. Alright. Time to shine. Elimination. Fireball.
You know, Dan blocking off that powered up 3 chain with a 4. Needs to put a green on column 1 or 2. Sorry.
Ready. Time to shine. Elimination. Fireball. Ow.
But like you know, Dan not super slick and fast with these chain extensions. And now that trigger is blocked off with the blues, just kind of Mauricio kind of just eating into Dan's resources here. And then doesn't get that double blue fast enough in order to be able to set off that chain. Mauricio, see what you're doing to this to me. You're tanking my viewership. You're just like Will. I can't believe this. Dan's purple not quite coming. It's kind of an insane purple drought. And this 2 chain's gonna take it.
No! See you next time. Alright. Alright. Time to shine. Ow!
The thing about plays like this is that it takes a certain type of player to be able to beat them, because you gotta be able to play their game. And it's like, you know, I'm seeing like a modicum of like a real chain from Mauricio there. It doesn't come out though. So we have all clear from both players. Goes for the fast attack. Doesn't get the jump on Mauricio. Mauricio also playing for a second all clear, gets the second all clear. And that tall build with that 3 chain is going to, you know, top out Dan. No. I was matching A too quickly. Alright. Now. Okay. Oh my god. No, how do I get back to freaking... Sorry, I was clicking around stuff on Carbuncle's corner. Okay. Dan is waiting for their next opponent. So is Mauricio. Waiting for Vito Tart and Radio Rat to finish up. We're also waiting for Wani and Clover to finish up. So that started some 1 minute ago? I would imagine. If we check this, Radio Rat started almost 10 minutes ago. The thing about watching a Mauricio match is that it's gonna take forever. losers round 2 was a first to 7. And I'm gonna let the beans out in that I've mainly been watching Dan because he tends to have, internet and connection issues. So, I usually don't switch from winner's bracket to loser's bracket in the middle. It just really depends on, like, who's first. I feel like I'm gonna make a mistake, and I'm gonna pick the wrong person to watch, and oh, it's gone. What the? Yeah. Like making. Okay, so we're gonna hop on over to loser's bracket, and I guess, for now, and then depending on who's ready first. The thing is that Lonnie and Clover started their match more recently? Yes, they did. But like, because of the way Mauricio plays, these matches take a lot longer to tighten up. I gotta watch this thing like a hawk. In the meantime, like, I don't know. What was your favorite part? I like that part too. It's not funny when I do it. It's only funny when my brother does it, because he's funnier than I am. Oh, I just realized I had way too many stimulants today. Okay, I'm seeing one person ready. Two 401L is real, I can't believe this. Thank you, Mitsu Tart, if you're listening, for being on top of these matches. Now let's start.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna leave Dan to his own devices, and I sure hope there are no disconnects while I'm not looking. Don't make me hit go again. Thank you.
Love conquers all. I'm here.
Sticker of Puyo Puyo. Mitsu Tart building that beautiful, beautiful GTR. And is about to be in for a really rude awakening. It actually has the pieces to get back to that main chain fairly quickly. That 6 chain, Regio's not gonna have the resources to respond to that. So
That was perfect.
those attacks are gonna have to be bigger and faster. I hope that didn't sound weird.
I feel the love.
All clear start.
Alright. Time to shine. Mission.
Might be in for a bit of a
Alright. I need
tough
to study
start.
more. See you next time. Alright. Time to shine. Ow.
Yep, just like that.
Alright, solved it. Time to shine. Mission. Ow.
So that 3 chain is also going to suck to suck.
Solved it. Solved it. Solved it.
Now, Regio gearing up for another all clear start.
Mission.
But Mitsu Tart has, sorry, the capacity to offset that with the extension, right? I was gonna say that they had to put that purple in column 1, but they didn't. That's fine though.
Alright. Time to shine.
Yeah, Mitsu Tart
Melody scale.
needing 1 yellow in order to get that piece off is gonna be the story of my entire life.
Study more.
See you next time.
Regio pulling ahead by 2 points.
Alright.
Early pop, weird. I have no idea what nefarious activities that man is up to. Mitsu Tart gets just enough purples to finish up that GTR. Literally actually fine if this insane purple drought doesn't want to kill him outright. So here comes a 2-chain harassment, which Regio responds to with a 2-chain of his own, and he's not ready for this 5-chain rush. So we got really strong plays from Mitsu Tart. A little bit of an adaptation, perhaps. But the thing is that Mauricio is not gonna stop fighting for his life until he's literally dead, like literally in the casket.
Alright. Where's the love? Solved it. He's no match. That was perfect.
I'm sorry, I have my stream thing open, just in case anyone sends me any chats. Some of these dips are foul, I think.
Solved it. Alright. Time to shine. Mission.
I think Mitsu Tart's gonna want to set off that main chain, get the 5-chain rush. Also have a 5-chain. It's not quite enough to offset.
Shine. Solved it. Alright. Alright. Solved it.
Mitsu Tart really rushing to get these chains out.
Solved it.
Not quite the 2-chain he was hoping for. I'm assuming that was a misdrop.
Solved it. Mission.
Because this,
Solved it.
Yeah.
study more. See you next time.
Brutal. See, the thing is, like, I make jokes about my viewership dropping. Obviously, that's because the people watching the stream are the people playing the game.
Alright. Time to shine. Submission. Melody scale. Solved it. Got it.
Okay, we should start building these things up, up, up.
Close eye. Right back at you, right?
Getting the offset.
Time to shine.
What was that?
Alright.
Taking a really big risk with that height
Got it. Ow.
on that column 3. But blocking off that damage, really helpful. Okay, taking another risk with the height on that column 3.
Got it. Ow. Solved it.
Okay.
Alright. Solved it.
I thought that Mitsutaro was gonna fish for that red-green a little bit and have the red-green. Getting some mileage out of these plays.
I know that. That was
Has Mauricio backed in a corner and finishes him off.
solved it. Alright. Alright.
Alright, here comes the 3-chain,
Submission.
which is fine. Mitsutaro is literally fine. All he just needs is the yellow.
Solved it.
Gets the yellow, sets off that 3-chain in response.
Solved
We
it.
got the follow-up 3.
Right. Sun. Shine. Oh.
It's taking that board space back.
Alright. Alright. Solved it.
And we got a follow-up, another follow-up 3.
Alright.
We have Mauricio getting a little bit flustered. These attacks aren't, like, you know, right back where they need to be. Mitsutaro, though, right back down to his main chain with a series of very efficient digs. Sets off that main chain. Not sure if Mauricio really has the resources to be able to respond to this 6.
Where's the love?
So that 6 is gonna land.
I know that. That was perfect.
You can see Mitsutaro kind of adapting to this strategy in real time, something which I cannot do because I have ADHD and get tired of this game very quickly. I mean, I don't have a medical disorder. I don't have a medical history of anything. Why would I have that? Alright, height gap, right? One problem is that it's gonna be that height on 3. And, you know, Marie's just gonna work to keep that purple as unopen as possible. Doesn't get it, though. Mitsutaro is back down at the bottom of the board. Unfortunate damage placement. You can see like a kind of openness again. Now we've got the death by 1,000 paper cuts. Unfortunate garbage drop does the column 3. It's not really a true column 3 if it's not a 1-chain that does it. That's the problem. I'm assuming that's a misdrop from Mitsutaro. But that fatigue is starting to set in. Or no, it's not the fatigue. It's the lag spikes, of course.
I need to study more. See you next time.
Mitsutaro is very much catching up to Mauricio.
I feel the love.
Oh dear.
Alright, solved it. Time to shine. Solved it. Got it. Alright.
Moments like this can kind of put Mauricio at an advantage.
Solved it.
When he's got the opportunity to kind of spend all the opponent's resources when they're trying to make a response. Now we have a 3-chain response from Mitsutaro. Who's out of Puyo's on the board. stacking those Puyos very quickly.
Solved it.
2-chain response
Alright. Oh,
and finishing out
solved it.
the match.
Got it. Alright.
Not quite, maybe.
Alright.
Still needs a little bit more work. Or... yeah.
Alright. Alright.
Mewtwo getting that purple-red for that extension, building up something nice and big so as to not waste time with little 1-chains trying to
That was perfect.
close out this set. Indeed, we are in winners finals. This is the first to 9. Which is most definitely something I would have forgotten, because I just forgot it now. This big attack is gonna do a lot. Mitsutart's got the ability to bring that back down to the main chain. Unfortunately, just not getting the yellows to be able to do that.
I need to study more. See you next time.
Mauricio still leading by 2 points. Mitsutart, definitely. Mitsutart definitely the fan favorite here, and by fan favorite, I mean me. He's my favorite. I'm a fan. Mitsutart sets off the rush chain. She's a 4. Here comes Mauricio's 4. Mitsutart committing to the attacks now. Kind of on an early mid-game. So this is going to be a 3-chain attack from Mauricio. Sorry, yeah. In response to Mitsutart's 3-chain, but Mauricio has a little bit more Puyos on the board. I'm not always sure about a lot of these pops. Mauricio's got a 3-chain ready, queued up again. Now committing too hard to that yellow. And needed blue now in order to get that yellow down. Lots of these delayed burns. Mauricio at match point up by 3 games. Not the worst damage in the world. But now, Mitsutart is on survival mode. On bother your opponent to win mode. Now this 3-chain is going to be dangerous because of that column 3 on Mitsutart's end. Mauricio is going to take winners finals and go to Brands. And Mitsutart is going to fall into losers bracket. Now, when I click on Dan's match, which is still ongoing, I better see that it's happily been playing out. It's been very... no issues so far. Great stuff. Okay. So we're going to wait for some of these matches to clean up. Whoever wins round 2 of losers gets to fight Radio Rad in winner semis. So I'm seeing messages from Dan and Lonnie from 10 minutes ago, so I'm assuming that they've wrapped that up pretty shortly. My least favorite strategy of all time. Okay, see, like, this is why, like, I have to stop playing this game, because that shit actually makes me a hater. Like, I hate that shit. And it's like, I don't want to say anything to anybody, because I know Marugio's, like, a really nice guy. Like, he's like, fine, you know? I don't really talk to him that much. But he seems really sweet. But I'm like, wow, this shit sucks. Like, let me play the game. Like, you know? It's like at a point where I'm like, what's the fastest I could possibly make my 7? I don't like rushing but frowny face. It's like, you know, I'm sorry. Do you understand why I don't play in the tournaments anymore? It's because I'm secretly very, very toxic. Like, I'm like horrid for this game. Yeah, so. That's my onion. I'm just gonna, oh, shit. We're starting. We're not starting. But, like, you know, it's like, it's a thought pattern where it's like, you're playing against somebody, you're not talking directly to them, so you have no clue what they're thinking, and then you just project that negativity onto that player. It can get really out of hand if you don't know how to manage it. And I don't know how to manage it because I'm going through a crisis right now, so I just had to stop. And, like, if I play against another player like this, I'm going to KSE, which is not KMSing, but killing someone else, you know? Like, I'm gonna get violent, so. I can't do it. But also, I was rooting for you because you're cool. I'm like, wow, that's Mitsu Tart. That's my buddy. That's my buddy from YouTube. Alright, so we got Radio Rad versus Dan. And Dan has an extension if he can get that yellow out fast enough, but he couldn't.
The day is mine.
Excuse me. Radio Rad had a bout of some insane, whatchamacallits, some rushes. But, we're back to GTR for Radio Rad. That's the one that I know and love. We're going to get a 7. Seeing a lot of bulk at the end, but Dan has a slight more of a second floor chain to get one extra link out of that.
I'm happy.
Radio Rad gonna rush that chain, despite not having the reds for the all clear. And Dan having that column 2 quote-unquote blocked off by having all those yellows there, and not really having the transition ready. I think it might help Dan to start building that transition out pretty early. Although the thing about the stairs transition is that you can't really, because it requires such a sturdy base, it's hard for you to just kind of cut it short. And Dan lacking that red in order to finish out the rest of the chain.
The day is mine.
And an additional blue, if I'm being honest. It's another one of the weak points of stairs is that, Radio Rad missing that all clear because he was trying to get the extra green out of it, not understanding that that did not come in the right order. So having to eat this brutal free chain at the top of the board. Still fighting for his life. Running out of space. Gets that blue in order to clean up some of that damage. Has the greens to pop, but doesn't place them properly.
I'm happy.
Very unfortunate stuff. I think the other thing is that even if I could continue playing Carbuncle's Corner because I wasn't, like, actually the worst ever, I probably wouldn't want to because there's a little bit of latency on my vision. Not my vision, but you know, like my little display when I play with my capture card.
I've been finished.
I'm happy.
It's not the most fun thing ever for me to play like against other people when I'm on stream. Radio Red setting off early. They had opting to set off what he has, which is a 6. Dan having a lot more pieces left on the board after that than Radio Rad, but a little bit less workable. Opting not to set off those greens. Needs to elevate that with a blue, and then sets off the blues there. Now those extra yellows cut early. No worries. Because that green into a red, you're gonna set off the greens, right? That's gonna be a free chain. Sometimes I think I'm looking at the player's chain, and I'm not. When it comes to, like, the freestyle stuff, I'm like, I think I'm looking at it, and I'm not. But this 3 chain is going to push up Radio Rad on the board with not enough space to get out of that, so. We got a little bit of like a delayed, you know, there's like a bit of a tail with those yellows there, which is actually really cute. It's gonna be a bit of a bind to get out of.
I've been finished.
I'm happy.
Wait. Radio Rad's chains honestly coming out fairly nice with you know, well, but dance transition is ready. The thing is, like, Radio Rad's chains are coming out very nicely, but I don't know if it's the Shadow activities that's doing it, but they just don't seem to be long enough. Which is strange, because, you know, Radio Rad has the capacity to make long enough chains. Radio Rat's gonna rush this chain. It's gonna be a 5. It's just not gonna be as powerful
Stop it!
because, you know, Dan just had more links, more pieces to do those chains. Now that garbage chain isn't going to connect in the way that Radio Rat hopes it would. Because he's gonna need a little bit more stuff to be able to do that. And he's gonna put the green in column 2 and Fisher that purple for column 1, gets the purple in column 1. It sets off that 3 chain. At the same time that Dan sets off a 3 chain. The difference is that Dan's got a nice follow-up. Just on virtue of having more access. Pops those blues, that's going to be a powered up 2 with 3 at the end. And that's going to be a lot of damage, and Dan's going to take that.
I'm happy.
Game, set, match. And move on to winners finals. Where he'll be playing against my bestie. Are y'all ready? Me too tired. If you're there, you're up. Again! Now my computer's cooking a lot less than I thought it would. Let's go!
Let's do it.
Y'all can start.
Here I come! I'm here!
Can I ever express this onion? Where I think that when you hit random for your music selection, you should be able to make like a playlist of songs you want to play at random. I think that would be cool. And missing a red. We'll just finish out that chain. Need to start trigger completely ready. Sets off the main chain. So we got an 8 from Mitsu Tart. We got fairly clean chaining from Dan, so we might get something a little crazy. Oh, nope, just an 8-2. Right. 2 chain harassment. Right. Dan built up something fairly large. It's gonna do a lot of damage. Still a little open. Gonna try to eke something out. Opening up these pieces, but that 3 chain is gonna put them right back where they started. And Dan's gonna take that first game. We're rushing from Mitsu Tart. The 4 chain. Dan not having either of the reds on either side to set that off.
No, that was perfect! Something. Got it.
Only 2 chain. Dan still has those, that chain open with the yellows connecting it together. Mitsu Tart's gonna want to set something off soon. Gets the green purple, but not placing them up top. I feel like when I saw that double yellow, I saw an opportunity that I might be misremembering. Alright. Mitsu Tart getting that double all clear. Offsetting that damage. He is. Mitsu Tart hanging on to that all clear. What for? Probably gonna want to set it off now. And so, it's gonna offset that damage. We're gonna have to offset that damage. And then eat this chain as its resources were depleted.
That was perfect!
A bit of a extended length GTR. Not the worst thing in the world. You just go with it. And you could not go with it. You know? We got a 4 chain from Mitsu Tart But Dan didn't quite have the blues and purples to connect that to the rest of the chain. So that third chain attack.
That was perfect.
Okay. We had Dan 2-3, Mitsu. We're just gonna have them. That's why I'm here. So you guys cannot. You guys saw that. All right. Whoopsie. Yeah, really. Okay, we're picking up where we left off.
Here I come.
Apparently that room was also like first to 7, so I guess it's a good thing that it disconnected. One of y'all is gonna have to decide who's topping out first. I mean, I guess if we're just playing legitimately from the jump, that's fine too.
Solved it. Got it.
Alright, both players setting up the main chains. Simple numbers game. This game is easy. It's just numbers. It's just who got big number biggerer. There's absolutely no strategy involved. So easy.
Solved it.
I don't know if Mitsu understood that they, well, knew that they could, you could, extend with the way that the reds and purples were originally, but they could have. I won't say how, though.
Solved it. Got it.
Gets that piece. Lots of, bulk on that right-hand side. I think, Dan just kind of let Mitsu build for too long. and let a bunch of junk pile up, and so that junk will cut the red.
Solved it. Got it. Solved. Perfect. Take. Oh no, that was perfect.
Builds from someone who's getting a lot of one color and doesn't want to miss the art player.
Solved it.
There's a bit of a color conflict, but that spot of garbage is actually going to help. So that's going to be a nice chunky one chain. That high of column 3, but you can see that double red coming. Double red doesn't come fast enough. Unfortunate.
Solved it. Solved it. Perfect. Solved it.
And that 5 chain is going to be just long enough to not provide enough time for Mitsutart to be able to clean that up. I mean, I guess they're fine with playing the set over. That's fine. Mitsutart's got that nice, cute, you know, the stairs chain was coming together and it was like so neat, and then you get the perfect piece, you don't want to throw it off to the side, right? So you just set it off. I get it. I get it.
Wow, that was perfect.
Well, keep in mind their original scores were 2-3 if you want to count that for anything. I have a feeling that they are just playing the set over, but
Solved it. Got it.
this is a 2 chain. This is a 2 chain cleanup into a fairly nice, you know.
Solved it. Here I go.
Mitsutart's got like that elevated GTR.
Solved it. Got it. Solved.
That 3 chain's gonna be just big enough to offset the 4, which is very cool. It's a fairly normal 4 then.
Solved it. Got it.
Mitsutart building up those blues and purples on the sorry, blues and reds at the side,
Here I go.
in an
Solved
alternating pattern.
it. Got it.
And that's gonna be a very explosive 3 chain.
Here I go.
Time is starting to catch up.
Ow.
I can feel that these chains are getting more consequential.
Solved it. Solved it.
Mitsutart slips in that yellow
Right back at you.
just in time to get that second yellow.
Solved it.
Follow up 2 chain.
Whoopsie.
Just
Solved
a little
it.
bit more damage on the board. To another 2 chain. It's gonna offset that almost perfectly. Unfortunate drop of that garbage.
Got it. Whoopsie. Here I go.
Here comes the back and forth.
Wow.
Yeah, now these chains are starting to get weightier.
Here I go. Solved it. Ow.
That 2 chain is actually going to do it. That damage is going to completely reverse Dan's fortunes. And now they're even. If you counted their original. Wait, no, you're not. My bad.
Solved it.
Okay, so that's all clear pieces. That with those yellows, that's all clear pieces, and both players missed it. That's... But you know, that's a multi-chain all clear miss. I kind of sort of don't care.
Solved it. Got it.
Mitsutart is gonna rush this chain though,
Here I go.
knowing that he's got a lot of longer one.
Whoopsie.
But it's not enough damage to be worth it, in my opinion.
Solved it. Got it.
Here comes a 3 chain.
Solved. Here I I go. Whoopsie. Solved it.
I'm assuming that was a misdrop.
Whoopsie. Solved it. Got it.
We got a 3-chain from Mitsu Tart,
Here I
3-chain
go.
from Dan.
Flame.
Ah, come on! Alright. Okay, so that was 2 to 3 again. I wish spectators could make rooms. I also wanted to make a 3-player room and then repeatedly top out, but that would be annoying. Right. Do I know this one already? Is it 1111? Is it 8888? Okay, 1912. Okay, thank you, but Battlefy chat, y'all. If we're doing match correspondence, Battlefy chat. Please. One thing about it is that it helps keep all the correspondence together because we still have the chats, so we can confirm that things actually happened.
Here I go.
Ooh. Big early attack. 3 lines of damage.
Here I go.
That's the 3-chain follow-up.
Wow, wow, wow. I need to study more. Yay! Solved it. Solved it.
Going for the extension into harassment.
Solved it. Got it. Solved. Take it.
Dan needed an extra purple
Here I
to
go.
set off that chain. That was a 6 versus this 7. 8.
Solved it. Got it. Solved. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. I need to study more. Yay! Solved it.
Why does it say match point?
Solved it. Got it. Here I go. Flame. Solved it. Got it. Ow. Solved it. Got it. Whoopsie.
So, the system that Juice came up with for disconnects is just do the shit over.
Got it. Solved. Here I go. I need to
That's 7-6.
Solved it. Solved it. Solved it. Solved it.
I kind of wonder what's going on here.
Got it. Here I go. Flame. Solved it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Solved it. Here I go. Solved it. Cycling. Solved it.
I had no clue if they were counting the previous games or not, so it looks like they were, and I guess it's a good thing I kept track of them. Now it's at 8-6.
I need to study more. Yay!
4, 6, 8. Okay. Guys, I'm not tripping, right? That was an 8, right? Isn't the set over? I mean, I was counting. I was counting. And I
Study more.
counted 8. I counted 8. Okay. Oh, well, too late. Oh boy. Okay, next time, just play the set over, but like, keep it at first to 9. Just like, get the score to what it was previously. Because I can't really scrub through this and then check to see if it was really 8 or 9. My notes say 8. So... what about the Amity profile picture? Oh, okay. The world will end. I'm playing Balacho. God, I wish that was me. I think I can mute everything while I scrub through this. Everything's back, right? Okay, next time play the set over. Like, play the set over. Audio stream bitrate isn't... Okay, whatever. Play this set over so that we can all keep count of the numbers, because I really had to scrub through all that to find the 9 over the 8. I think another thing is that playing multiple sets gets people flustered. And is like a mindset change, so don't do that. The last thing is don't mash A when you're in your lobby, because what happens is issues like this where I end up missing grand finals, and I am a little irritated right now. So that's it. That's the stream. Good night, everybody. Go to bed. Remember to save your matches, I guess. My stream's saying audio bitrate is, like, down. It's, like, not... Is everything, like... That would be, like, a duplicate, right? Oh, yeah, that's a duplicate. $9.26. Alright, good. Okay, everything's fine. Okay, yeah, that's the end of the stream. Good night, everybody. Goodbye.